Oh man, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. As for getting this thing moving again, I don't know where I'm gonna start yet. You guys can drop down in the comments on what you think is stopping this from turning over. I'll show you guys real quick what it's doing. So I got my barring over tool put in there, 37 extensions so that I can reach out here. So if you guys watch the fan here, you'll see how much it turns. So I'm locked up going the one way, and this is all I get out of it. And it locks up again. So it's been quite a while since I've had a chance to work on Goliath. I finally got the starter off. So here it is. And I think what's happening is inside here, it's not making contact between the power. So if you look here, these are what's supposed to make contact. And that is done with this plate here. And this plate is actually warped really bad. I'm gonna try and pop this off and see about getting that whole thing out of there, baby. So with that starter all apart, it's gonna need quite a bit of work to get it going. I might just have to drop it off at a shop and get them to go through it and order all the parts and stuff. So what I'm gonna do now is clean off the front of Goliath. We're just trying to get everything put up on the mezzanine so the shop's exploded. And I got stuff laying everywhere, so I'm gonna clean off these fenders and bumper. Then I'm gonna get that bar over tool put in and gonna see if it can turn over. It's gonna be a big day, hopefully a good one. So here's the barring over tool that I got. I put a bit of grease on it right there just to help it slip in the bell housing. But we'll get that put in place and I'll get a ratchet on it. And yeah, we'll see if this thing's gonna turn over or not. Yeah, I really hope it does. So I'm under here trying to check the transmission and see if it's moving. Okay, so you're at that stop position right now. Go the way you were going until it stops. Okay, now go all the way the other way. And you're putting pressure on it? Yeah. Okay, I'm not too sure. It's hard to tell. Still got the drain plug out. It looks a little rusty in there. But I'm kind of thinking it might be stuck in 2 gears. So Tiernan's just ripping out the floorboards or the floor mats. Still has the Autocar floor mat in it. And then we're gonna pull the cover off the bottom of the floor, get at the shifter tower. We're gonna try and wiggle it out of here without dumping too much of this rat crap everywhere, which I thought mouse poop was gross, but turns out rats are way worse. Hold on, twist your front end. Walk, there we go. Drop back. There we go, just like surgery. Pull that out and then I'll be able to tell real quick if it's in 2 gears or not. But while I'm under here, I haven't drained the transfer case yet. So I was gonna see how bad that is because so far we're 2 for 2 with the engine and transmission both having water in them. So might as well get all this stuff draining and see how bad everything is. I'm hoping those were the only 2 that had water in them, but find out in 2 seconds. Nope, we look good. And it's actually not even that bad of a color. So that's a really good sign. Well, I'll get that drained, and while that's draining, I'm gonna see if we can figure out this transmission issue. If that's the issue. So I got those 4 bolts undone. I'm gonna get Tiernan to lift this out of here so I can run the camera. And then we'll take a peek inside and see where all those shift forks are sitting. Okay, yeah, so she is really rusty in there. That doesn't look good. But it also looks like everything's in neutral. But with that amount of rust in there, I'm wondering if some of those shafts are stuck. Like you can see on that slide rod there, it's pretty coated. Yeah, we might just be looking at a seized shaft, and that's what's hanging us up right now. I'll get these shift forks moving first and we'll go from there. So this one was stuck. We broke it loose. You can see the rust on this front side. So I'm just kind of moving them back and forth, and we're going to expose those rusty parts of the shaft and try and get some oil on there just to help get rid of some of that rust. Hopefully that's neutral right about there. Everything here looks pretty good. And we'll go try turning that motor over and see if it goes now. Okay, we'll try this one more time, see if that fixed our issue. Nope, it's still binding up. I think next what I'll do is, I think this is for the tack cable. So I'll pop those 2 bolts out, get that out of there, and that'll let me know if this shaft is even moving for the pump. Aside from that, like I say, it could be the air compressor seized, or there's something completely grenaded inside the motor. But we'll just kind of keep trying stuff until we hopefully figure it out. Well, welcome back. Today's the day to work on Goliath. I think where I left off last time, motor still doesn't turn over, and the starter was bad. So I had a buddy of mine, he had a starter laying around, so he donated that. So thank you very much for that. Greatly appreciated. As for getting this thing moving again, I don't know where I'm going to start yet. You guys can drop down in the comments on what you think is stopping this from turning over. I'll show you guys real quick what it's doing so you can kind of see, and then I don't know, we're going to dig through this together and see what's holding this thing up, whether it's a bad motor, transmission, or air compressor, injection pump. I don't know. Figure it out. So I got my barring over tool put in there, 37 extensions so that I can reach out here. So if you guys watch the fan here, you'll see how much it turns. So I'm locked up going the one way, and this is all I get out of it. And it locks up again. So unless it's a connecting rod or something, I don't think it's anything too much in the motor. I don't think it'll be the injection pump. It could be the air pump maybe, but I'm thinking with that much slack in it, it's gonna be a seized counter shaft or something in the transmission. So I'm gonna start under there and make sure I can get the clutch and pressure plate loose and see if I can actually get the engine to disengage and get it moving that way. But I don't know, we'll see shortly here. Well, I'm just pulling off the bottom PTO cover on this transmission, and look what it's doing. It's dripping. There's a bunch of water coming out of there. I'll get it pulled off the rest of the way and we'll see what it looks like inside. Okay, let's see if I can do this with one hand here. Come on. There we go. Oh, no big splash. Except for that. Gross. Okay, I'll pull that off the rest of the way and we'll see what's inside there. Well, here's what that PTO cover looks like. That is gross. Absolutely disgusting. Oh, nasty. Blech. It actually looks not too bad in there, other than that really disgusting oil. I thought I was going to see a lot more rust and stuff on the gears. Tiernan, do you want to turn that over for me? So was that the stop point? Okay. And that's the other lock. So what I was kind of thinking was when you hit those lock points, I wasn't going to have play in the output shaft. That doesn't seem to be the case. Everything in there, from what I can tell, seems to be moving and nothing binding. So I'm going to say that this transmission's probably fine. Now on to that. I don't want to get into that, but I guess I'm going to have to try and see what's going on in there. Well, I guess we're onto the motor now. We'll see what's going on there. I don't know, what do you guys got for ideas to start on? I'm thinking I'll check out that air compressor pump. I might try and get my borescope camera through some of the drain plugs on the oil pan and see if I can see anything broken in there. I'm hoping it's not something weird like a collapsed cylinder liner from freezing in the winter. I don't know, is that a thing? I got the power steering pump off now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch that gear for the air compressor and see if that rotates when I spin this motor over. So it looks like it's moving. Oh my gosh, what is seizing this thing up? Should I just pull the whole pump off? I don't know. I can hear the pump moving and making noise, but it could have a seized spot in it too. Wonder if it's this injection pump. I'll pop that other cover off and we'll see what's going on. Got those covers off, and from what I can tell, spinning this over, both those seem to be moving fine. I think it's time to bite the bullet now, get underneath and pull that oil pan off the bottom and see what it looks like inside. I'm really hoping it's not broken connecting rod or something, but I'll get under there and yeah, see what happens. Well, I've got all the bolts off the oil pan now. I got 2 left on there just to kind of hang it. I still got to break the gasket loose. I brought Tiernan out. He's going to give me a hand and we'll get this pulled off and see what's in there. So here's all the sludge that's sitting in that oil pan. It is pretty gross. That is nasty. So I'll get that washed out, get this little gasket peeled off, and then we'll get her together. Okay, I guess I think keep an eye on that rusty one. Okay. That's locked. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to put this phone down and figure it out. So aside from a little bit of rust in there, everything in the motor looked good. Connecting rods and everything looked fine. So I got a mark, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there and on that bolt. And so I got Tiernan moving it now. What we did was we just kind of went one direction, held it real tight and applied a crap ton of pressure, and we could hear it kind of grind through some rust. So we got a lot more rotation on it now. Got rid of the extensions because they were putting too much flex on everything. So now we're just kind of trying to push out those extremities. It feels like it's just got to chew through rust. So I'm hoping that's it and that it doesn't damage the pistons, cylinders, and rings too bad. Yeah, we'll see if we can get this getting pushed past that stuff. So we're just coming up on our next mark there. So we're at the mark and it's actually going past, which is good. And now we got Hercules over here. Got your ring, Herc. It's going a little bit. Got one more in you? Yeah, it's going. Oh, don't do that. Okay.
Keep going.
Well, he thinks he's got her, for the most part anyways. Yep, she's moving. There, it looks like it's going freer now. Oh.
No, I'm just getting stronger.
He just went Super Saiyan. See, his hair? Definitely Super Saiyan. Yeah, we're getting there. Oh, pulled the pan for nothing. That's all right. Okay, so Tiernan's got the 4-to-1 ratio, I don't know, reducer, whatever in there. And we're very slowly making progress. Just barely creeping along. Wish there was a way I could just pump oil through these galleries. Well, Tiernan's giving her honor. We got that 4-to-1 reducer, extensions, and we've got probably 3/4 of a revolution out of it now. So I'm pretty excited. I think we'll be able to get this thing moving here in a little bit. And then I gotta get gaskets and clean everything up and put it all back together. But we'll keep you posted here on once we get this thing freewheeling. Well, that was a lot of arm work and body work. We got it. We've done more than one revolution on it now. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna hook the starter in there. I'll have to get a new pan gasket for it. There's a whole bunch of sludge in that thing too. So I'm gonna clean all that out, get a new gasket in there. We'll put some oil in it, let it crank really good and oil everything up. And then it'll be putting the top end together, injectors, all that kind of stuff. Oh man, I hope you guys are as excited as I am. So we got the oil pan off and got the motor turning over. So everything looked good inside. And now that we're getting full revolutions, it's time to go on with the pan, get some fresh oil in it and get it cranking over with the starter. I gotta clean that up and put it on too. So I went and got the oil pan gasket. As you can see, this one's all torn up. I don't know, maybe you can't see. But next step is just clean this oil pan out, get the old gasket off, make sure there's nothing left on the bottom of the motor. And this thing's going on and we are gonna be cranking as long as all the electrical works. But I know it was working before, just bad starter. So I gotta clean that up, put it on next. But one thing at a time, get this thing ready to go. Okay, I know what you guys are gonna say. Chris, how did you get it so clean? Here's the answer, magic. Wow, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. So I got all the gasket face all cleaned off, scraped off. It's all ready to go. Washed out the inside. I even tried to get in there and clean out all the threads for all the plugs. And then I took it to work and did a good pressure wash job on the outside just to get it as clean as possible. I also got, here's a timing cover or whatever you want to call it for the injection pump. Same thing, it's all clean, ready to go. PTO cover off the transmission. The stuff that was caked on there was absolutely atrocious. That was actually really hard to pressure wash off, but it's ready to go too. The main thing I'm gonna do here though, is we're gonna get this oil pan put on. I got the gasket here. For you guys that don't know, these are actually a puzzle piece. You can actually see like it's legit puzzles and they just interlock together. Neighbor was good enough to lend me a bottle of this stuff, aviation forma gasket. And gonna put a thin bead on there and then start putting this gasket on. Here's a fun fact for you. So it came in blocks like this, 2 different styles, and stamped right on there, we got 6-cylinder and V12. So I didn't even know they made a V12, but that's kind of cool. I don't know if everybody else is this picky, but there's these little fibers on here that I don't really feel like having go through the motor. So I'm just gonna get all these scraped off and try and prevent any further damage. This poor motor's already in such rough shape, I don't need to add to the problems. Before I get this gasket and everything on the oil pan, I forgot I gotta get under there and still scrape off whatever remnants are still stuck to the bottom of the block. So I'm gonna get that done first, and then I'll show you getting that gasket put on. So the other thing that I forgot to do and mention was this pickup screen in the oil pan. So I'm just gonna unhook it there. Oh, Bailey dog. Pull it out, clean it, and finish getting that gasket off. I got the oil filter off and a new one ready to go on. So I'll get that all cleaned up and ready to go. Well, that's it. As you can see, it's fairly plugged, so definitely a good thing to get it off of there and cleaned out and washed up. Oh man, doesn't that look better? Just a thing of beauty. Okay, that's going back on. I got the bottom of the engine cleaned off. I got that pickup screen done. Old oil filters off. It's now time to get this gasket put on and get this oil pan back on there. So I got my goop and we'll get that laid out. First, what I'm gonna do is make sure that I put this puzzle piece together right. I kind of think it only goes together one way. I think the ends are the same, sides are the same, and then there's filler pieces in between. But I'll just lay it out and make sure I don't screw something up. And that's basically what it looks like. You can see all these puzzle connections here, but it looks good. Now we'll get it on there semi-permanent. Now I've been warned to not use barely any of this, just a very thin coat. This, from what I understand, isn't to seal it. It's just to hold everything kind of in place. That stuff is sticky. The other thing, you don't want to use too much and have it squeeze into the motor and then go through your oiling system. A lot of people get too carried away with silicone and stuff, and it causes way more damage than it helps. The other thing, I think this bottle's pretty old. It's got copyright of 2003 on it. I'm amazed it still works. I don't know, I think that's it. Now try and get this all in place. I think we're good. So next I'm gonna slide it in place. See what happens. Okay, so half a turn. Yes. Yeah, so you just kind of hold that end. Hopefully let it ride on the diff. Actually, pass me one of these bolts here. Okay, that's kind of there. Come on. Truck's got a lot of room to work underneath, doesn't it? Okay, that's good there. You can let it go. Perfect. Okay, oil pan's on. Gotta check this out. Oh, look at that. That's just a thing of beauty. Got all the drain plugs and everything in. I'm gonna blow off the top of the motor because it's been sitting. I got that piece of plastic on it, so it should be good. Blow it off real quick, and then I'm gonna start putting oil in it. Get that sitting in there. Then guess what? Starter. We're not cranking it yet. Starter still needs to go on. Okay, I'm pretty nervous. Starter's on, engine's got oil. Everything that needs to be buttoned up is buttoned up. I got all the wiring figured out. Yeah, time to try and start it. I'm nervous. I'm hoping everything works fine, but I don't know. We'll see. I got Tiernan here with me. Do you want to crank it over, Tier? You want to crank it or do the video? Record. Okay, Tiernan's gonna do some recording for me. I'm gonna go hit that button. I got batteries hooked up, so we'll see if this works. So nervous. Moment of truth. Any electrical fires? Ah! Woohoo! Look at that! That oil's getting in there. Woohoo! That is awesome. That is awesome. Oh man, I'm excited. Okay, that's gonna be it for tonight though. Yeah, I got lots to do now. But yeah, now it's getting that whole top end and everything put back together. But that is fantastic. So I hope you guys like that and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.